If you're lucky enough to have the Robinhood Gold Card and you've ever looked at the Mystery Box redemption option, there's a quiet update that you should be aware of. Nothing about the feature itself has changed, the cost didn't change, but the odds behind it did. And that raises a very real question about how this option should be viewed going forward. So let's talk about it. I am so happy to have you here with me today. Let's get started. Now, if you've seen my prior videos on the Mystery Box, you should already know the basics. You redeem 1,000 points for a randomized reward, which could be additional points or a temporary cashback boost. Now, this video is not about how it works, but it's about how the probability distribution has changed. Now, the Mystery Box is a fixed probability system, so every outcome has an assigned percentage, and together they add up to 100%. Now, when Robinhood adjusts those percentages, they're not just tweaking the odds, they're reshaping what you're most likely to experience when you open a box. And that's basically what happened here. In the updated Mystery Box, Robinhood introduced several new cashback-style rewards that did not exist before. There's 15% cashback on your next restaurant order with a $500 cap with a probability of 5%, 15% back on your next purchase with a $500 cap with a probability of 3%, and then 10% cash back for 24 hours with a $3,000 cap and a probability of 0.5%. Now together, these additions account for 8.5 percentage points of probability that were not previously part of the distribution. And that's meaningful. And once those were added, then of course the rest of the table had to adjust. Now prior to the change, the three most likely outcomes were 10% cash back on your next restaurant order with a $500 cap and a 29.2% probability, 5% cash back on your next restaurant order with a $500 cap and a 20% probability, and 5% back on your next grocery purchase with a $500 cap and a 15% probability. The combined probability was 64.2% for these options. And so that's nearly 2/3 of all mystery boxes landed on one of these three outcomes. Overwhelmingly restaurant focused, with groceries as a very common everyday win. Now, after the update, the top three most likely outcomes under the updated probabilities are as follows. You have 10% cash back on your next restaurant order with a $500 cap and a 25.749% probability. 4% cash back for 24 hours with a $3,000 cap and a 17% probability, and then 5% cash back on your next restaurant order, $500 cap here, and 16% probability. So the combined probability for these is 58.749%. So a few things stand out to me. Grocery dropped out of the top three entirely. The 4% 24-hour surged from 7% to 17%. The most likely restaurant reward declined from 29.2% to 25.749%, and the combined weight of the top three outcomes fell by over 5 percentage points. So while restaurant bonuses remain common, the experience shifted from restaurant plus grocery dominance to restaurant plus short-term cashback dominance. At the top end, the 100,000 point prize dropped from 0.05% to 0.001%. A 50x reduction in the overall probability for this reward. Now, it was always rare, but now it's statistically negligible. So the update didn't just add new promotional tiers, it also further reduced already thin upside. So is this better or worse? It really depends on what you valued most. If you like the mystery box for the possibility of meaningful upside or frequent everyday grocery wins, the updated structure likely means it's going to make it less appealing for you. But if you viewed it as a novelty or a controlled promotional perk, the change may not materially alter how you used it previously. But quantitatively, the distribution is now less concentrated at the top, more time sensitive in its most common outcomes, and meaningfully less weighted toward extreme upside. And that's what the numbers show. And that's going to do it for today's video. This update really comes down to how a shift in probabilities, especially at the top and among the most common outcomes, can change the feel and function of this rewards feature, even when everything else looks the same. Now, if you found this video helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on the next one. And I'd really appreciate it if you shared this video with someone who has access to the Robinhood Gold Card or has an interest in it. And let me know in the comments whether you still open mystery boxes, is it something that you're interested in, or if you're just stick with cashback. I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, I encourage you to dream big, to live well, and to do great things. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.